I get a lot of questions from business owners and people who are generally trying to promote an event, a service, or even product about how to get started with paid advertising. And oftentimes, after a few minutes of conversing with them, I realize how prepared or unprepared they are. More often than not, most of these inquiries actually proves that they're not prepared. And I don't blame them because there has to be a level of education to help you know what exactly you need to look out for or even put in place before you run your ads. And if you don't already have these things, then you just might want to burn your money. Trust me, it's that serious. So today's video, I'm walking you through 5 essential things that you need to put in place and even know before you reach out to a paid ad specialist. Let's dive right in. The first thing that you must know is your ad objective. What is your ad objective? What exactly do you want to achieve from this ad that you are running? Is it sales? Do you want people to actually take the action of parting with their money for your product? Is it consideration or awareness? You want to put your brand and business in presence of your ideal target audience long enough to be able to gain their trust? Or is it lead generation? You want to get through to your ideal audience, get their contact so that you can reach out to them eventually and as many times as you want. All of these are different ad objectives, and trust me, they can be more. So before you go on to contact an ad specialist, do you already know what you want that ad to do for you? Do you know what success looks like when it is achieved? If you don't, then you won't be able to know when an ad was successful or not. The second thing that you must know is what exactly is a feasible ad budget that you can set aside. This is not what your business is running on operationally. This is not your entire revenue. This is not even your capital. Don't make a mistake. Your ad budget should be a percentage that you can afford to constantly give. Now, there are different techniques to know what is an ideal budget. For one, if you're trying to sell a particular product, how much is the product? If your product is at least 100,000 naira, then your ad budget should be between 5 to 10% of that. And I'm talking about cumulatively, not just for one day. Because at the end of the day, if you do the maths and you run on 10,000 naira or 5,000 naira daily for a long period of time, then you're losing more than you're gaining. But that's a whole mathematics for another day. Now, if it's a service that you're rendering, what exactly is the price of the service? Apply the same thing to it. And also, if it's something that can be replicated, it's not just one product or one service or one-time booking, then you know that if you invest the price of just one slot or one of that product, you can replicate the result. Now, if it is more than one unit of that product or service or slot or event that you're trying to sell, which is often the case, then you know that investing the price of just one is not too much for you to get the result that drives the sales of every other one. So for instance, if you have a product again of 100,000 naira and you have 100 pieces of that product, trust me, even 100,000 naira is too small. 100,000 naira in that instance is just about 1% of that, and that is too small for you to begin with. Because trust me, depending on how you structure and target your audience, this platform knows exactly how much you're trying to make from them. And of course, they're smart. They want to make money as well. So they're going to ensure that you optimize with a better budget to deliver even more quality leads. I hope that helped you break it down. But if it's still a bit confusing for you, then feel free to reach out to me on any of my social media pages. The third and most important thing is your audience. Know who your ideal audience are. Trust me, targeting everybody is you just setting yourself up for failure. Because running ads is like going fishing. If you cast your net, then you can't really tell what you get. There's just so many people who can come. But because of how smart these platforms are, they've been able to get different categories of people under certain demographics that can help you channel your results even better. So why not take advantage of it? So yes, before you reach out to your paid ad specialist, ensure that you know who you're trying to target. Know who exactly they are, know their interest, know their location, know their gender, know the age range, know what exactly it is that should appeal to them. I mean, it's okay if you don't have all the answers to these questions, but at least you should know your business enough to be able to provide answers when your paid ad specialist points you to these directions. So yes, know the audience that you're trying to sell to. Another very important thing that you have to know is key ad mechanics. And what does that mean? There's such a thing as daily budgets. I mean, I already explained that earlier. There's such a thing as runtime, A and B testing, the creatives. All of these are what makes a good ad. Now, what is the daily budget? Think about it as the fuel that your ad runs on every day. If you set 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira for your ad to run on daily, then that is exactly what Meta or any other platform that you're running ads on will try to pull in your results with. And guess what? The higher the ad budget, the better the quality of the result. Like I said, these platforms are smart. They want to make money as well. So the more money you put, the more and better results that they will get you. The second thing is the runtime. You don't run an ad for just one day. It takes a period of time. The ideal time to run any ad for any good results should be nothing less than 30 days. But I understand that there are smaller businesses that have smaller needs. And so it's okay if you want to try an ad for just 7 days and with a smaller budget. That is very understandable. But if you're someone who's trying to reach high ticket paying clients, then you must understand that it takes time. And you might wonder, what exactly is the time for? Well, the longer your runtime, then the better the algorithm is able to study your ad and deliver better results for you at a lower rate. Yes, lower cost per clicks. That means that if Facebook or Meta delivers your ideal audience with about 1,000 naira per click or per lead in the first day, then by the third day of doing the same thing, they might be delivering it for what? 400 naira. Exactly. The longer your ad goes, the better the quality of leads and the lower the cost per results. So let the ad run for a while. Another thing I mentioned is A and B testing. This is for businesses that have some level of robust budget. So they want to try what set of creatives can work for what set of audience, for what set of locations. Trust me, A and B is simply you testing if version A does better than version B. And you can change anything. It can be your audience, it can be the creative, it can be the location, it can be the age range. It can be even your budget. It simply is you trying to see what exactly works better to deliver your objective. And finally, I mentioned creative under ad mechanics. A creative is simply the content that you use to put your ad forward. So it could be your video, it could be your flyer, it could be ordinary pictures, it could be product photos, it could even be your website, it could be your product catalog. Whatever you're trying to use to reach your audience, that particular content or clip is your creative. The final thing that you must know or already have in place before you reach out to your paid ad specialist as a business owner or anybody trying to sell anything is your offer. So what exactly are you trying to sell? That is what your offer is. For instance, you're creative and you have a class coming up and you want to reach as many people as possible. Your offer is that you have limited slots for that particular class and you want people to know. So you're going to tell them what they stand to gain. You're going to inform them how much it costs. You're going to tell them why they have to buy from you. So what exactly makes you to stand out from other offers out there in the market? It simply is you making an argument for why people should choose you. That is simply what your offer is. Funny story. I recently ran an ad for a client for a short period of time and her budget was quite on the low side. And after the days of the ads, I reached out and I wanted to follow up on how the results were, whether or not she was satisfied. And she was like, Flora, the ads didn't work. And I was like, really? How so? And she said, well, nobody made any payments. On probing further, I realized that the ads actually brought in 15 people who were interested. But I mean, the deal didn't close for one or two reasons. And one thing that was predominant was her offer. She was slashing down her offer or trying to make it fit the needs of the client, which sometimes can be really detrimental for your business. So yes, ensure that you know your offer and always stick to it per ad campaign. You can come later and change your offer. Maybe if you notice that it's not working out or your people are not responding. But if you have a primary offer, stick to it first and see that it actually converts before you go on to make any changes. Now, I know that I mentioned I was giving 5 tips, but see this as a bonus tip. Ensure that you have a system that can convert the leads to sales. I mentioned earlier, the job of your paid ad specialist is just to get you qualified leads, not to convert it to sales. So if they get you those qualified leads, are you, the business owner, the one who can speak and convert those leads to actual sales? Or you have a team that is dedicated to that? If you don't do this, then you really might be burning money. I have come to notice that this is a recurrent problem with so many people I have worked with. And I'm sure even other marketers can attest to this point. So yes, please ensure that you have a system for converting those qualified leads to actual sales and conversions. And that is it on essential things that you need to know and put in place before you get a paid ad specialist or run an ad by yourself, if you want to do it yourself. Just to circle back and refresh your memory, here are 5 key things that you should take away from this video. The first is know your ad objective. Secondly, know what you can afford for an ad budget. Third, know your ideal audience. Fourth, know the essential ad mechanics and terminologies. And 5, ensure that you have already defined your offer and you stick to it, at least for a period of time. And of course, for the bonus points, well, I'm going to have to send you back to the video just to ensure that you actually followed and can trace your steps back to where I mentioned that. You're welcome. Anyways, guys, this is it on this video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, then please subscribe to my channel. Share this to as many people as possible. Ensure you leave a comment. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. Reach out to me on any of my social media profiles that I have linked in the comments and even on my profile here on YouTube. And yes, I'll be happy to hear from you. See you guys in the next one.